Ladies and gentlemen, as you can very clearly see by the gameplay on screen here, Blackout has changed. In fact, Blackout has changed in a lot of ways with yesterday's update. Operation Apocalypse Z has created a massive change in not only the original Blackout map, but also Alcatraz as well. And as you know, whenever there's a big update like this, I like to show you everything that has changed on the entire Blackout map. And not only am I going to show you that today, I'm also going to show you a couple of gameplay changes that have also been updated in the most recent patch. So before we dive into this video, I have one big question for you guys. You can answer it after the video is over, or you can answer it in the comments now, but I'm really curious what you guys think. I played a lot of Blackout last night, both on the Alcatraz map and the normal Blackout map, and they're very different to the point where visibility is different, the way you play the game is different, and it just feels completely different. And if you've played, I want to hear what you guys think. Do you like the changes that they've made to the Blackout map? Do you hate them? Are you indifferent? I am actually really curious to hear what you guys have to say. I'm going to be reading all of the comments down below, so let me know what you think down in the comments. But without further ado, let's dive into the Blackout map and talk about all of the changes that happened yesterday. So we're going to start out with a couple of obvious ones. If you haven't played it yet, you may not know this, but the first biggest one, and I don't fully understand why they did this, they removed all of the glass from the entire map. So you go into a building, or you see a building, there will be no glass on the windows, you can't break glass, you can just jump straight through. Now, there's a couple of reasons that they may have done this. First of all, the glass actually used to block bullets, so if you sniped someone through a window, it may actually not hit them because the glass would stop the bullet. So now, all of the glass is gone, except for a couple spots in particular, but every single window no longer has glass, so that's going to change the way the game plays for sure. The second big change, and I pretty much noticed this one right away, is ambient noise. So if you're playing on the regular Blackout map and you've been kind of running around, no one's around you, no one's shooting, you may have heard some weird noises like wind blowing, maybe some owls, or even some voices. Here, I'll play it for you so that way you can hear what I'm talking about. I'm not gonna lie, it is a little bit creepy, and the first time I played, I thought either one, I was going crazy, or two, I had paranoia on. When I found out I didn't have paranoia on, I thought I was losing my mind. Now, on top of the ambient noises, they've also added new music before you drop in for this event.
Lifter 1-1 established on drop zone. Mission time clock is live.
I believe it's Avenged Sevenfold playing it. I'm not 100% sure, but it kind of matches the theme of the event. Now, on top of that, they've kind of introduced two different maps to the new Blackout. One has less fog and one has more fog. So the version you are looking at here right now is the less fog version. This is what the more fog version looks like. It is very difficult to see people on the more fog version. And honestly, this that you're looking at here is a pretty tame example. It's a lot more foggy on other locations of the map, especially the lower lying locations on the map like Rivertown. Now, what gets really insane is when we compare the before and after of the Blackout map. Clearly before it was bright and sunny, and after, not only does it get dark, foggy, cloudy, the trees start to die, but on top of that, the water has turned red. So really, while we compare these in the video, there's not much for me to say. Like I said, the main aspects that actually changed are the water is red, it is now foggy, there's a bunch of dead trees, and it's not nearly as bright as it was before. So I'm not really going to talk about every individual item that you're seeing on screen here, but I'm going to talk about this Blackout update in general. So first of all, the one big question as soon as they launched this event, I wondered why they didn't put this event out at Halloween. Now, my guess is that they probably weren't ready. Black Ops 4 just launched at the beginning of October, but I feel like this event fits perfectly with Halloween, simply because that ambient spooky noises, the blood everywhere, red water, foggy, it just fits perfectly with Halloween, and I would have loved to see this at that time of year. Now, quite honestly, there is two kinds of downsides to this Blackout update. First of all, there is no new point of interest. In the previous updates, they've at least changed certain locations on the map, whether that be adding Ghost Town, adding Hijacked, or even raising the water level and moving some things around. It kind of changed locations on the Blackout map. However, this time with this update, there was no changing of locations, no new locations or points of interest put into the game. There was simply just an aesthetic change. Now, that being said, it's a pretty large aesthetic change as you're seeing on screen here, but at the same time, I like the map to change up a little bit or a new location to be added. Now, I know that could just be my opinion, but like I said before, you can let me know what you think down in the comments. Now, the other thing and question I have about this update is the story. As far as the map updates so far, they've kind of implemented a little bit of a story with each one. For example, in the last operation, the dam blew up because Spectre wanted to flood the map. However, in this update, the water just kind of turned red, there's zombies everywhere, and that's pretty much it. They didn't really give us a cutscene or story behind it. So, personally, that's something that I am really interested in. As you guys know, on this channel, I upload a lot of videos about the Call of Duty storyline, little Easter eggs with it, and with this one, they just kind of dumped a lot of dye into the water and said, hey, this might be blood. So I'm kind of curious what the story is behind that, and I'm kind of hoping that in the future they kind of answer some more questions with that, or even add Easter eggs to have us answer those questions. And I'm not gonna lie, they kind of did a little bit with a couple of Easter eggs they've added to the map, but what I mean by that is beside the ambiance that we're looking at here, the darker map, the fog, the red water, the extra noises in the background, they've also added a couple little Easter eggs throughout certain locations around the map that kind of hint towards something going on the map. So let me explain what I mean by that. So what I'm talking about is on certain locations around the map, there is blood covering certain areas. Blood on the floor, blood on the walls, and even going as far in some locations, there is blood with an axe slapped into the ground. The creepiest of these locations to me is this house on the hill here. Up on the wall, there is "Beware" written in blood. When you go inside, there is blood everywhere, and on the counter, there is blood with an axe slammed into the counter. Now, as it turns out, most of these locations around the map that are covered in blood used to be the party locations in the Days of Summer event. Almost as if a serial killer went around finding where the parties were and shutting them down. Now, is that what the story of the map is? I don't know, but it appears to be that's what it looks like. And another example of this is on the farmhouse, there is "Save Us" written on blood on the roof of it. So aesthetically, those are all the big changes on the Blackout map. As far as how this map is played, there are also a couple of other changes. First of all, if you have an enemy who decides to camp in a small building and there is a door on that building, you now don't actually have to open the door. What you can do instead is throw an explosive at it and blow that door off the building, and then you can enter with less problem. On top of that, zombies will now rip doors off of buildings as well. The other new thing is wonder weapons. So this is both on the main Blackout map and on Alcatraz. If you kill a zombie boss, either Brutus or the Blight Father on the regular Blackout map, you have a chance of getting a wonder weapon out of the mystery box. The one you can see me getting here is Alistair's Folly. This weapon is a 2-shot kill, but there's also other wonder weapons available through these mystery boxes as well. So that is pretty much the update for the main Blackout map. The other thing is Alcatraz. So essentially what they've done with Alcatraz is, one, they've made the map very, very dark, and on top of that, they've made more zombies spawn. They've added Brutus and Hellhounds. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of this. I don't mind the dark map, but I find that there's just way too many zombies that you can't tell who's a zombie and who's a person because of how dark the map is. Also, to be getting constantly chased by zombies to me is a little bit annoying. I much prefer the normal Alcatraz map, but maybe that's just me. Like I said before, it's not really the dark aesthetic that I don't love. It's not perfect and you can't see as well, but to me it's just the massive amounts of zombies that are constantly running around the map that kind of look like people. That's what really frustrates me on this map. So remember at the beginning of the video when I asked you guys what were your opinions on these updates? So my opinion is this. I really like the update. I think it looks really good. It looks really cool, and I love the aesthetic of it. I love the whole idea of adding more zombies to Blackout. However, I don't like how it plays. It seems like all this update did was make it more difficult to hear people and see people while playing Blackout. And to me, that's just incredibly frustrating. When before I could try to snipe someone from 400 meters, and now it's difficult to see someone at 100 meters, or if you're playing on the foggy map, 50 meters, not the biggest fan of that. And I think they probably should have known that because not a lot of people were a fan of Arsenal Sandstorm in multiplayer. So I'm curious what you guys think. Do you like it? I won't be mad at you if you like it. I literally just want to know what people think of this new Blackout update. I gave you my opinion, and now I want to hear yours. But as always, guys, if you enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you could hit that like button. If you're new to the channel and like what you see here, the best way to stay up to date on all of my videos is make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you have notifications turned on. And as I said before, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. But guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, peace out.
We are reaching for the stars, but we're making this too hard.